allowing us to organize this conference. So we're going to start with the first conference. So this is the importance of assessment of the balance, impact, benefits, and this is a very delicate, and we should consider that all along this process. So we're going to see the different elements, and in order to emphasize the collaboration between the patients and the healthcare team in order to take informed decisions. So I am going to invite Nabil, doctor in the foundation. Good morning. Je suis Nabil, a resident doctor. So we're going to talk about the shared decision making, because this is going to be the source of concern. And of course, we're going to accompany follow-up, and this is the shared decision making. Before going to the shared decision, we are going to talk about the relation patient-professional and the healthcare sector. The patient is in the center of discussion. When we talk about this paternalist relationship in the therapy, the doctor is going to follow up the patient, but we have understood that in this therapy we have the experts by the doctor and also the patient, and they will cooperate with each other in order to take the right decisions. So this is the shared decision making, the discussion between the professionals and the patients, and this is mutual aid in order to have very clear and informed decision. Clear is an important word here, because we have the consent, the free and informed consent. And why do we talk about this? Because it provides a series of advantages because of the treatment and to follow up by the team, and also it will reduce anxiety in patients, and they will improve the relationship between patients and professionals, and of course it is also part of the oncological trajectory. So we are going to see in this cooperation. So your expertise and the professional expertise. How do we define this cooperation? Every person will have roles and functions and rights and some tasks to develop as well. We will see, and you have the right to receive this health care, and also the right to information. You have the right to have all the information, and also the benefits and the impacts. And there's also these brackets that not all the patients want the same information. There are some people that would like to know everything, but there were people that won't be able to know everything. It is difficult, but it is important to know what is the amount of information that we need. So we see the right of the consent, because it should be free and clear. It shouldn't be forced. And it should be clear, because it should be clear for you with all the information to take the decision.
And so this consent and this information is tied together, and the right that is through this shared this shared journey is one where you have to sit with your doctor, where you speak about your values, you state your values and your principles. One of the most important rights is the right to privacy. Everything that you say to the specialist is something that should be remained between you guys. There should be no taboos, no gray zone, permitting a transparent communication. Now, there are rights, but you also have responsibilities. You have to communicate with your care team because they can't guess you. You have to share your fears. You have to share your anxieties. Do not hesitate to ask questions. Share your convictions, your visions. Share what you are able to live with, what you are unable to live with, so that there is a better shared decision ultimately. Now we're talking about the care team. The first priority is to heal you. The second goal is to inform you. As we said, you are entitled to information, and the care team is there to help you to that effect. The information given is not any information. It has to be based on research. These are not just opinions, personal opinions. It is based on science and medicine and medical knowledges. Now, it is very nice to give you the information, but the most important thing is that the information may become, accessible. Therefore, you have to make sure that the care team is vulgarizing very well the information. Now, is the team also making sure that the information is adapted to your oncological path? The care team has to analyze your state, whether you're able to take in the information, analyze it, digest it. So they have to do this in a timely way. The team must listen, must take into account what is important to you, your values. They must answer to your questions. They have to validate your consent and your understanding before taking all information, and they have to consider you without any judgment and put you at the center of all conversations. And now let's get back to the shared decisions. Once the diagnosis is official, the professional will study the best ways to go through. The professional will take into account your convictions, your state, your information, everything that you will have communicated to him. They will also take into account the characteristics of the illness, what type of cancer you have. Is it aggressive? Is it at its infancy? It will take into account as well the impacts from the treatments, but as well as the benefits. Another important thing as well to see, because in oncology or in general medical practice, there's no certainties. This is a science, and so we're never 100% sure that there are not going to be any secondary effect. And so there's always a part of uncertainty, and so we'll have to play with these probabilities. Let's get back to the details on the balance between benefits and impacts. When we talk about that in the oncology, when we talk about an oncology or a benefit of the treatment, we're trying to see whether or not the cancer is reducing in size. So we'll also see if there is a sort of a partial positive evolution following the treatment. And then there is also a reduction of recidivism, and the oncology treatments will as well act on this recidivism. We'll think about the second effect, right? We're talking about vomiting, hair loss, but there are also psychological impacts. The oncological pathway is not always easy. It can have an impact on relationships, on your self-esteem. It can also have a financial impact. One must stop work or stop certain financial activities, and that can have an impact. We're going to use a more global way to analyze things. We will analyze if one is able to live in a dignified way. What is their life quality? Quality of life will be determined by you, because we cannot determine for you what you are able or not able to live with. Once the therapeutic options are studied and analyzed, the care team will present you the different options that are available. This is where there will be an exchange of information. The care team will give you more information on the treatment that you will receive, but also on the reason for which they've elected this treatment. They also inform you on the possible impacts and the second effects or the secondary effects. The care team will also make some will give you some advice without pushing or imposing any decision. The care team is also there to verify your understanding of things. At every step, they want to make sure that you understand every single information that is being disseminated. What is particularly important is to give yourself time to assimilate the information. Of course, this is the medical field. You will receive a lot of information with different lingo, and so it might be hard to take in. But also, what's hard as well is to take in the information, as this diagnosis can be very charged. It can be very emotionally charged. What are the impacts? What are the benefits? What are the fors, and what are the nays, the against? What you can do is that you can engage yourself in a very in a very intense manner, because the oncology is sharing of discussions. What we want to make sure, we know that certain people will have a more of a passive attitude.
De la communiquer à l'équipe de soins.
Now, the decision time came. Once that the therapeutic options are presented, how does one know whether or not they have made the proper decision? Proper decision is good. It's one that is aligned with your convictions, with your values, and what's important for you. Now, it's easy to say, but it's not always easy to do. Why? Because as I said before, there's always a part of uncertainty in terms of the medical environment. How to live with this uncertainty? How to verify whether or not one is taking a proper decision? You can use this concept, which we call decisional comfort. Am I 100% sure of the choice I'm making? Am I ready to assume the consequences of my choices? If you are not comfortable with the decision that you're taking, it can have grave consequences, such as the abandonment of a treatment or worsening of the state. And so you have to make sure during your oncological route to treatment to take a right decision. Before your meetings, you could put up a list. You can draw up a list of questions, describe them, take some notes, and post and submit these questions to your care team. Certain people are more visual. They would like some schemes, some drawings in order to understand the problem. They will need some graphs. Other a little more will want numbers, and that as well is very good. The other one is to scale things on 1 to 10, and to see what it would take in order to get to the next level. For example, I have I'm scaling things from 8 to 10. How do I get to number 9? You can always get information from credible sources. Of course, with the era of Facebook and Instagram and whatnot, we can fall on very dubious information. But it is important to go look at how, with reasonable information. And so you can take this information, bring it to your care team, and they will confirm or disconfirm the information. Now, in terms of the information, you want to see, am I informed enough to take this decision? Do I understand the options that are laid in front of me? Do I understand the impacts? If the answer is yes, you can get to the next category, values. Do I know what is important for me? Do I know what I will be able to live with and not? And finally, if the answer is yes, we get to the next question. Do I have enough support in order to reach this decision? Have I been supported? Was I well informed? And am I surrounded to take the information? And if the answer is yes, you are able to take the next decision. Once the decision is taken, we have to know that things are not static. Things are going to evolve with time. Convictions may change.
Vous qui prenez les décisions, et nous, l'équipe soignante, on est là pour vous conseiller et appliquer.
What's beneficial to know is that when you are taking a new decision, or you're changing your treatment plan, it's important to start again from scratch. You sit down with your care team, you ask your questions, person will explain the information and the benefits that are offered to you and whatnot. And so the shared decision is not something that is punctual. It's a cycle. It's a repetitive cycle that will repeat itself during your oncological treatment. And so if there were 3 messages to remember from from my panel is that nobody's forcing you to be more active or less. Your decisions are yours. You are the master of your decision. You are leading your boat. You are the chief. And you are the one that's going to determine how things are going to go. And we're there to support you. And the right decision is yours. And it is the one that's aligned with your values, what's important for you. As for the rest of the day, we'll try to reduce these secondary effects and also better the relationship with the specialist.
Donc, merci, Nabil, d'avoir posé les bases de cette journée-là pour nous, d'avoir brisé la glace aussi. À présent, on vous invite à prendre vos cellulaires pour répondre à un petit quiz sur Slido. Sachez que vos réponses vont être anonymes, à moins que vous ne décidiez d'indiquer votre nom et prénom, ce qui est une option aussi. Vous avez quelques questions.
You have a few questions to answer the questions on Slido. And so we have 7 questions. And you have about 2 minutes to answer the questions. And we'll get back with the answers afterwards.
Normalement, quand on est sur Slido, on reste dessus. Donc, on y va. On va commencer avec la première question.
We're going to go to the first question. And the first question is up on the board. I'm going to read the question. So the key elements when it comes to a shared decision. What are the key elements to a shared decision? We see that it's moving. I think it's good. I think everybody, okay, I can see 6%. It's interesting to see the numbers change so quickly. And so the right answer is all these answers, all of the above. Second question, 3 choices. Am I free to change my opinions towards a treatment? I can already hear people spitting out the answer in the room. No, there's no problem. Don't worry about that. Yes? So 97% of people answered yes to that question, and 97% of people are right. What are the rights? What are patient rights? The right to information, consent, confidentiality. Are the answers good? All of the above is good. Seems like you guys are very good. You're on fire. What is an informed decision? An informed decision, one that I understand, or it's a default decision? Things are moving. Nabil, what is the proper answer? A, a well-informed decision free of any restraint. You have to answer. You have to understand the treatment itself, but the decision or the or you approving it has to be something that comes. It has to come from you. The approval has to come from you. The quality of life is tied to the well-being, dignity, and happiness, or all of the above. Zero fault. You guys are excellent. I'm really proud of you. All of the answers are the above. The proper decision, would it come from me, the doctor, or my decision because I'm influenced by others, or one that is informed by the care team, or one that is aligned with the care team but also aligned with my values? Nabil? D. I think our questions were way too easy. Last questions. Who is the most important question in your healing? The oncologist, the nurse, or me? When I say me, I'm talking about you as a person. "97% said me. And sorry for the little issues that we had a little earlier. We're going to make sure that we will work on that and in better things. Thank you very much, Nabil.